We ain't even talk about these fake Bugattis and fake houses with these pools. And you can put out of in the next 2-3 years and all that cheese jewelry. We ain't even finna talk about none of that. Like that is the topic of, I guess.
This was like, I got an opportunity for you. I don't have the money for you, but I got the opportunity.
So this is the daughter of the ruler of Dubai, and apparently she uses controversial rule on social media.
You know, so I usually do my homework. I'll find somebody who knows somebody or something. They could give me some information, like who is it? Like who is he? And you know, Frenchie, they got me the tape. They got me the tape of his mother's house, where his mom's work at. You know what I'm saying? The other cribs, the studios, stuff like that.
That's the Cali tape.
Right.
Okay.
I had all of it.
What if the billion-dollar marriage French Montana just stepped into isn't the victory it looks like? What if the palaces, the private jets, and the princess weren't signs of freedom, but chains dressed in gold? Young Thug sees it differently. And when Thugger talks, people listen, because his words cut through the shine and force us to ask, is French Montana living the dream or stuck in a new kind of cage?
I'm on your from my fake page. Can't about to black me. I still see it. You post a picture. That ain't me on that picture. Lane green ass nigga. The whole world been thinking that too, man. I'm 56, so gonna say something about that, man. That ain't me with that ugly ass skirt on that with that hat. Nigga, I don't wear bullshit like that.
Young Thug and French Montana come from very different places, but their stories have parallels. Both came from tough environments, both hustled their way up, both built their names off energy the culture couldn't ignore. But their paths split when it came to how they chased power. French chose stability, attaching himself to circles of wealth and influence. Thug chose chaos and creativity, bending the culture itself to his will. Now, watching French walk into a royal family, Thugger has a message. Money don't make you free, power do.
Table, and I'm sure there were some other ones also.
Yeah. I came to Steve Rifkin when I had Chopper Down.
Mm-hmm.
I walked in the office, it was him and Gabi.
Yep.
And Gabi was managing. I was like, yo, Steve, give me $200,000. Let me go make music. You know what I'm saying? Just let me. Steve was like, nah, I'll give it to you.
Never got it.
Never got it. I dropped.
Which is funny because Gabi's the president of SRC. Steve is like the CEO, but
so I don't know what type of
but
weird.
Steve makes the final call.
Yeah. So I asked for $200,000. You know what I'm saying? And it's like
Thug doesn't buy that this was just romance. The timing, he says, tells a different story. French aligned himself with unimaginable wealth right when controversy and pressure back home were growing hotter. To Thug, that's not coincidence, that's strategy. That ain't love, that's survival, he quips. The message is clear. French didn't just fall into a relationship, he secured an escape plan. And while it looks glamorous on Instagram, it might just be another version of running from the fire. Thugger knows firsthand that comfort always comes with a cost. You can have $1 billion home and still feel broke if you ain't in control, he warns. That's the heart of his critique. French Montana might be surrounded by palaces and oil money, but at the end of the day, the crown he wears doesn't belong to him. The risk? Becoming ornamental, valuable for appearance, but powerless in decision-making. The wealth may be real, but if it doesn't come with autonomy, the internet hasn't been quiet. Fans argue in circles. Some say French outplayed everyone. He went from Coke Boys to royalty, from mixtapes to monarchs. Others say it looks too convenient, too rehearsed. Memes fly, jokes circulate, and the narrative spins. But when Thugger weighs in, the debate gets sharper. His voice forces people to look past the surface and ask the harder question, is French Montana being celebrated, or is he being kept? Part of what makes this story so magnetic is hip-hop's long obsession with royalty. Rappers crown themselves kings, queens, bosses. They flaunt thrones in music videos. They talk about dynasties in their lyrics. So when a rapper actually marries into literal royalty, it feels like fantasy realized. But Thug reminds us, hip-hop royalty and real-world royalty are two different things. In hip-hop, your crown comes from what you build. In Dubai, crowns are inherited. When French joined that dynasty, he didn't seize power. He accepted it from someone else. And that difference matters.
Fool. We ain't even talk about these fake Bugattis and fake houses with these pools and you can put out of in the next 2-3 years and all that cheese jewelry. We ain't even finna talk about none of that. Like that is the topic of, I guess. Showing videos of your pool in front of in your pool. Yeah, everybody got a pool, nigga. Man, live on Slauson in LA with a pool. You ain't got them doing that, nigga. Show me a pool inside the ocean. It's like, what, you showing me a pool? Nigga, the smallest house in LA got a pool. You blocked from your page.
Here's the paradox that makes the whole saga gripping. French Montana looks more powerful than ever, but the more he gains, the less free he might become. Every photo of him with his wife, every image of him draped in luxury, is both a flex and a reminder of the leash that might be hidden behind it. And Thugger keeps hammering that point. Don't mistake comfort for control. They ain't the same. Thugger frames French's situation as a crossroads. In one future, French flips this royal connection into his own empire. Businesses, investments, moves that prove he's not just living in the palace, but running his own kingdom inside it. In that scenario, Thugger would have to tip his hat. But in the other future, French fades into being just another accessory in a dynasty too powerful to resist. A trophy, not a king. And once that happens, it's game over. At its core, this isn't just about French Montana. It's about what hip-hop values most. Is it the grind, the independence, the ownership of your name and your art? Or is it about aligning with wealth so massive it swallows you whole? Young Thug's critique forces the culture to look in the mirror. Because if we celebrate crowns without asking who put them on, we risk celebrating servitude disguised as victory. So, here's the bottom line. French Montana's billion-dollar marriage looks like the ultimate glow-up. To fans, it's a fairy tale. To critics, it's a trap. And in Young Thug's eyes, it's proof that luxury doesn't always equal freedom. The debate will rage on, the memes will fly, the headlines will spin. But Thugger's words will hang over it all. Gold don't make you free, power do. And until French Montana proves he owns his crown, the culture won't stop asking.
Collar comes out, like we said, and now you have real deals on the table. And out of all those, you go with Diddy.
That's not how it really went.
Was it Diddy? Was it Bad Boy MMG?
Yeah, I went to go see Ross. And Ross was like, I got an opportunity for you. I don't have the money for you, but I got the opportunity. I guess because the same thing Meek did, the same thing Wale did. I guess whatever the way the situation, his label was, he wasn't trying to give me the money I wanted, and I wanted like a whole bunch of money. But he was like, look, let's do it like this. Let's call Puff, and let's get him to give you the bag. You can still be MMG / you know what I'm saying? Bad Boy, Coke Boys, yep.
Right. How much money did you get?
$2 million.
Every crown in hip-hop shines, but it also cuts. French Montana's new life proves it. On one hand, he's leveled up beyond imagination. Billions around him, royal bloodlines tied to his name, a lifestyle untouchable to most. On the other hand, the crown is heavy because it wasn't forged by his own hands. Young Thug keeps pressing that point. You wear a crown somebody else gave you? That ain't yours. And when you think about it, that line flips the whole fairy tale into a warning. On the surface, French's move looks like an escape, a way out of controversy, industry politics, and the constant spotlight of America. But Thugger calls it what it is, a mirage. You run from one fire and land in another. To Thug, French didn't escape the game, he just changed the rules of it. Instead of label execs, managers, and industry rivals pulling strings, now it's royals with billions behind them. The stage got bigger, but so did the risks. Hip-hop has always celebrated independence, from Master P building No Limit, to Jay-Z flipping Rockefeller into Roc Nation, to Nipsey Hussle buying back his masters. Ownership is the ultimate badge of honor. Young Thug looks at French Montana's royal connection and sees the opposite. That ain't ownership, that's a lease, he says. And that line sticks because it taps into the heart of hip-hop culture, no matter how much luxury surrounds you. What makes this story even heavier is how it splits audiences. In the West, fans frame French's marriage as a fairy tale. In Dubai, it's an alliance, more politics than love. In hip-hop, it's a debate. Did he win, or did he sell out? That divide is why this saga won't die anytime soon. Every culture sees the same crown differently. And Thugger's commentary adds gasoline, because he forces people to look past their own lens and ask the uncomfortable question, whose game is French really playing? The irony here is that both Young Thug and French Montana represent two sides of the same coin. One chose chaos, creativity, and total self-expression, even when it brought controversy. The other chose comfort, stability, and protection, even when it raised questions of independence. Neither path is simple. Both come with risks, and that's why their stories collide. They represent two definitions of winning in hip-hop. So, what's next for French? That's the cliffhanger. If he uses his royal platform to build his own empire, global businesses, influence beyond music, control of his own narrative, he could silence critics and prove Thugger wrong. But if he fades into being just another guest in a dynasty too big to challenge, Thugger's words will echo as prophecy. Either way, the story isn't done. It's only just beginning. At the end of the day, French Montana's royal marriage isn't just celebrity gossip. It's a cultural case study. It forces us to ask, what does success look like in hip-hop? Is it freedom at all costs, even when it means chaos? Or is it comfort, even if it means control is gone? Young Thug's voice cuts through the noise to remind us, money can buy you palaces, but it can't buy you power. French Montana's marriage is both the dream and the warning. On the outside, it looks like the ultimate win. Palaces, billions, untouchable status. But as Young Thug reminds us, what looks like victory can also be the beginning of captivity. Hip-hop has always blurred the line between luxury and freedom, between survival and success. French's story forces us to confront that paradox head-on. This isn't just about French Montana or Young Thug. It's about the culture as a whole. Hip-hop was born from the idea of taking control, of owning your voice when nobody else would listen. The second we start celebrating crowns that were handed over instead of earned, we lose that spirit. Thugger's critique isn't just shade, it's a reminder that freedom is fragile, and if you don't fight to protect it, someone else will write your story for you. So, here's where it lands. French Montana may be smiling in royal palaces today, but the crown on his head comes with questions no Instagram post can answer. Is he the king of his own destiny, or just another player in someone else's empire? Young Thug's words make sure the culture doesn't forget to ask, and maybe that's the true takeaway. Not whether French won or lost, but whether hip-hop still knows the difference between comfort and control.